I'm gonna show you, and I'm so excited about it, the greatest snare drum tuning trick that I know on this planet. If somebody has a better trick, show it to me and I will use it. But so far, that's the best trick. So let's start with the 5 points for the snare drum tuning. So the first point is I'm gonna crank up the bottom head to death, really tabletop tight. This means it's mostly 1.5 or up to 2 turns. And I start where the screws starting to grip. So it will be like this. One turn. I'll make 2 turns on it. Basically, you can count to 4 half turns. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Did I forgot some? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. And opposite side. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you tap the head, it sounds like. So it's really high pressure. And if the bottom head has a tension like this, you have the best snare wire response and you can almost do whatever you want on the top head. So let's swap the drum around. Okay. So it gets now a bit Einsteinisch because it sounds complicated what I'm doing now, but it is not. You just have to get used to it. So I loosen all the screws, and step 2 is I'm gonna bring up all the lugs 1 turn. It kind of varies on the screws, but you just have to check it out what's with what you start, 1.5 turn or 1 turn. So let's bring this to 1 turn. Okay, here's the point where it's starting to grip. It's 1, go to the opposite side. Find, yeah. 1. Okay. Whoops. 1 turn. So here's the point where it starts. And of course we already did this one. This one is missing. 1 turn. Where's the point? Yep. Here's it. And 1 turn. So we've done everything. 1 turn on each lug. The drum now kind of sounds like this. We haven't done anything at all besides keeping the resonant head tabletop tight and making 1 turn on each lug on the top head. So your drum gonna sound like this. It's very high, but we keep going. Step 3 is, now it gets a bit complicated. You bring up the 12 o'clock screw a whole turn. Then you bring up the 1 o'clock screw half a turn. And you want to bring up the 11 o'clock screw half a turn as well. Okay, so we don't care how the drum sounds now, and you always keep those 3 lugs up here at this level. You won't touch them anymore. So the next thing is that we're going to do, drum sounds like this. We're going to loose on the opposite side of the hoop. We're going to loosen the what is it, 5 o'clock screw, 1.5 turn. You might say, but wait, how can we loosen it 1.5 turn if we only have 1 turn on the screw? We have more than 1 turn on the screw now because we put a lot of pressure on this side and the hoop gets up on that side, so you have kind of more tension on this one. So take this one, 1.5 turns out. Take the 7 o'clock screw, 1.5 turns out, which is mostly, it's totally out. It's only 1 turn, okay. And make the 6 o'clock screw loose. So, oops, see there's a lot on it. So now you kind of feel here, and you need to feel wrinkles. If you don't feel any wrinkles, go on the 5 and 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock screw and loosen it even a bit more. So now we have the wrinkles in here. So, all right, here we go. The wrinkle was always something that we don't want to have in the tom-toms, but we want to have it now in the snare drum, because our snare drum is now sounding like this. Very dry. And now we still have 4 screws that we have not touched yet. So the 4 screws on the side are simply for your tone, which means you go up and down to match your desired note. So let's go down with it. Okay. So now we tune it down and the drum sounds like, it's totally dry, you don't have an overtone. You can play, you can get it even drier. It's like a muffled drum, but it's not actually muffled. And with this method, you still have all the high frequencies on the drum head, which is very important for the microphone. And yeah, we can play now like AC/DC stuff. And then you might take a look at your set list and you discover, oh my God, the next song is a funk song. So what you do is you just turn in the 3 screws down here. And there's your overtone. So basically you can completely control your overtone just with the 3 lugs above. So let's take it out. And then you can just simply dial in. Your desired amount of overtones. So no pre-muffled drum heads required. I never use pre-muffled heads because those heads give me just one sound of the drum and I just can only use that sound. But I can tune or detune any overtones out of the skin. And everything you put on the skin kills frequencies, high frequencies, no matter if it's a moon jail or a 0 ring or whatever. I try to avoid this all the time because that's my basic tuning trick. And I have full control over the whole snare drum with this system. Ain't that a fucking great snare drum trick? Yes, it is.